Okay, welcome back, homies, and today we meet again, and the subject is midpoint sum from Codewars, and this is a Python exercise. I think you can see that on the screen, but needed to give that intro just for the hell of it. That's what I do. Okay, midpoint sum for a given list of integers, or return the index, so the element, or the sums of the integers to the left and right of the current element are equal. This is kind of a classic exercise type of algorithm, and don't remember what it's called. Some of you guys, maybe you can tell me what it is, the name of this idea. But here it's called midpoint sum. Let's break down this idea. The sums of the integers to the left and the right of the current element are equal. So, given a list, we go along and see at which point, as we traverse, is the sum of the elements to the left of a certain index the same as the sum of the elements to the right. And here we got an example, pretty good example. Here, the point at which that is the case is going to be where this 9 is, because 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 7 is 12. And then on the other side of the 9, 9 plus 3 is 12. So we got a match there. Good, good. So yeah, the returned index would be 3 because you are returning the index at that midpoint sum area where we find elements to the left and to the right equal. This is element 3, obviously 0, 1, 2, 3. Take that to the bank. Next example. Next example returns none because there's no point at which the sum of the elements to the right, or the left, equal the sum of the elements to the right. There's no point at which. So when you don't find it, you'll return none. And I want to hip you to a couple of rules down here. Element at the index to be returned, if the element at the index to be returned is not, wait a minute, I'm reading this wrong. The element, the midpoint element that you find, it's not included in the summation. That's really what this is saying. So it's not inclusive. So we do not consider the current element when we go left and to the right. Know that. I had a hard time getting it out myself anyway. Number 2, both the first and last index cannot be considered as a midpoint. So you will not, your midpoint cannot be at the beginning or the end of your list. So don't even consider it. We got to block it out in our code. That's enough of an intro. Let's dive into this mother and figure it out. All right. This kind of ends up being pretty short and sweet, where I am going to loop through the range, loop through the list of integers, interestingly called ints or ants, whatever. I loop through it, and then I do a fairly long if statement where I say, really, if the sum of the elements to the left is equal to the sum of the elements to the right, and I is not 0 and I is not equal to the end, then I'm going to return I. Hope you got some of that. You'll see it in code here right now. So if the, and not sums, so I'm simply going to get the sum of the elements to the left, which will be a slice going from the beginning. The slice will go from the beginning of the list right up to I, that's going to give me the sum of the elements to the left. And I'm going to check to see if it is equal to the sum of the elements to the right. I will do another slice going from I plus 1 to the end of my list. Of course, I is not included in your summation on either side. So with both of these slices, I am omitting I, as you may notice. So yes, if the sum of the left and the sum of the right are equal, that is our beginning point. But we must also observe that the midpoint cannot be at the beginning or end, as per rule number 2 down here. So I'm going to go ahead and omit that in my if statement. So if and I is not 0, which would be the beginning, and I is not equal, I is not the end, so not equal to the length minus 1. Because if I was equal to the length of the list minus 1, it would be at the end of the list. And just generally, for you all that don't know, getting the last element of any list or any array is always the length of the size of the array minus 1. It will always give you the last element. Hopefully I said that right. Not somebody correct me. Because it's about getting the right answer, it's not about being right myself. Yes. Okay. And if all that is good, I'm going to return I, because that will be the index that I am seeking. And if I get all the way through my loop and it's not good, I'm going to return none, because the instructions said so. The instructions have spoken. Time to run. Who was born to run, baby? Let's go. That passes. Looks like that passes. We got a correctamundo. Very good, very good. Let's go. Yeah. All right, I like it. I like how it's going. Could be better. Always can be better. Always strive for better. That's what I say. But I ain't doing any more on this one. This is going to be it. So here's your solution to midpoint sum from Codewars in Python. All right, that's out. That's it for me. Ali Ali Oxenfree. I am gone. See ya.